A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and dear guests. A very warm welcome to meeting number 5 of the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club. This is going to be another power-packed evening where we will dive into learnings, prepared speeches, and double evaluations. So without further ado, let's begin the meeting with a poem on the theme of today's session. All is well. When storms arise and shadows fall and doubts grow loud within the call, breathe deep and be still, and yourself do tell. Everything will be okay. All will be well. The sun returns and the night fades. New strength is born from trials faced. Though paths may twist and time may swell, hold on to.
You were on mute.
I'm extremely sorry. We'll begin the theme of today's session, that is All is Well, with a small poem on this theme. When storms arise and shadows fall and doubts grow loud within the call, breathe deep, be still, and yourself do tell. Everything will be okay. All is well. The sun returns, the night will fade. New strength is born from trials braved. Though paths may twist and time may swell, hold on to the hope, 'cause all is well. I'm your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. As the Sergeant at Arms, I would like to highlight a few key points for the meeting. This meeting is for a duration of 2 hours, and I would request all of y'all to be present for the entire duration to get maximum benefit from it. Your video should be on and audio should be off, unless you are called upon to speak or need to speak during the meeting. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, though Toastmasters International does not put any restrictions on speaking on these topics, at the Gabbys, we request all speakers and role takers to be mindful and abstain from any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me now hand over the virtual stage to our presiding officer of today's session, who is none other than Toastmaster Samita Kar. Toastmaster Samita is a dynamic soft skills trainer with a dream to empower women leaders. She boosts confidence, communication, and careers. An avid storyteller and passionate listener, traveler. Her suitcase is full of stories, from bathing elephants in Sri Lanka to exploring the ruins of Nalanda. So let's put our hands together to welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Samita Kar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya, our Sergeant at Arms. As every time she starts the meeting with this energy and the poems that she brings us, let us give us a huge round of applause to our Sergeant of Arms. Welcome, welcome all the members of Gabbys, all visiting Toastmasters and guests to our meeting today. I can see a few guests, so let us just... Yamika, are you a visiting Toastmaster or guest? Can you unmute and speak? And I would love if you were on camera. You can just tell us where you are from and how did you get to know about our club.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Toastmaster Yamika. So, I'm from Cello Toastmasters. I was very intrigued by the poster I've seen and was interested to hear out the session. So, that's why I just joined as a guest. Want to understand how the Toastmaster session also goes. I'm very new to the Toastmaster Club itself. So, more of exploration here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Please do stay till the end of this session and we would love to hear from you. I can see Toastmaster Acharya from Chennai.
Yes, a very good evening to all the Toastmasters here. I'm interested in this trauma-informed therapy, and so when I saw the flyer, I said, I have to be here. So very, very keen on listening to this educational session. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Please stay till the end, and we would love to hear from you. For the We would love to hear from all our guests how they loved the meeting. So and if by chance I have not had the time because we are running with our meeting, please feel free to put up your introduction in the chat. For the interest of the guests who are not Toastmasters, a very quick information about the Toastmasters. This is a platform started by Dr. Ralph S. Medley in 1924. This platform is for public speaking and leadership development. But when you come here, when you come to deliver your speeches, your evaluations, you understand that this platform serves a much greater purpose. And that's the reason we come back again and again to this platform to grow, to learn, and even mentor. Talking about Gabbys, we are two families. We have two clubs. One is meeting on Tuesday, which is an online club, and the other is on Saturdays, which is a hybrid format. Two clubs means lots of roles and lots of opportunities to take up and hone your skills. I will also remind all the members to participate in the humorous speech contest and the table topic contest, which is coming up. Please start preparing. And I will not take much time because we have a very interesting session coming up. And we are all eager to hear from Dr. Shruti. But before that, we have someone who will be taking us through this meeting, our Toastmaster of the Day. Our Toastmaster of the Day is an image consultant, a corporate soft skills trainer, and an ex-corporate with a purpose to make a positive difference. She is the founder of Be Unique firm, aiming to specialize in executive coaching, a travel buff, and a music lover who enjoys riding bikes as well as cooking. Wow, lots of hobbies. And this is none other than Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy. Over to you, Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy.
Thank you very much. Good evening, you all wonderful people of Gabbys, and good evening, Dr. Shruti Niraj. Let me begin with a question. So, how many of you say all is well when nothing is actually well? Very few hands. Okay, all right. Thank you for the honesty. The rest of you who didn't raise your hands are either in denial mode or probably saints altogether. So, welcome to today's Toastmasters meeting with the theme All is Well. Now, all is well is more than a feel-good phrase. So, what do we do in situations like we submit a report 1 minute before the deadline? We'll say all is well, it's okay. 1 minute is there. We spill coffee on our white t-shirt before a date. And we're like, ouch. But then we'll still go on date because the date is waiting there. What if my daughter barges in while hosting a session, which might be possible? I'll still have to say, all is well, and then I have to continue the session. So it's just a coping mechanism for us that we use to ourselves in situations like this. But here is the truth, Toastmasters. Sometimes saying all is well doesn't change the situation, but it changes you. It helps you find the calm in that chaos, in that chaotic situations. It helps you smile in uncertainty anyway. And that's what makes this phrase so beautiful and powerful. So as your Toastmaster of the day, I'll be guiding you through the day's schedule. If today's meeting has three key segments, the first one is the education session, and then we'll have prepared speeches, and then we will have evaluations. Before that, let me introduce you to our general evaluator, Sachin Jaiswal. Sachin Jaiswal is a chartered accountant with 23 years of experience across diverse industries, and I am Bangalore alumni, and he did it from Columbia Business School as well. Wow. He currently serves as a CFO at Azza Fashions, overseeing global finance operations across India and the US. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Shilpa, for a warm introduction. And I'll just a minute. So, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. As a general evaluator today, my role is to give a feedback on every aspect of the session, what went well and what did not went well. Helping in my task today is my TLL team, where T stands for timer, L for language evaluator, and L for listener. For the timer role, we have Toastmasters Prasad G, a 20-year-old BTech student in AI and machine learning at Sandeep University, Nasik. He's passionate about astrophysics, problem solving, and technology. Hailing from Bhushawal, he enjoys chess, badminton, deep conversation, and solo research. His goal is to build a true AI OS, master communication, and innovative feature technologies. Wow, what a goal! A big round of applause for Toastmaster Prasad.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest present here. My name is Toastmaster Prasad. I am serving as a role timer today. In Toastmaster, we value clear and concise communication, and time management plays a vital role in achieving that. As your timer, I will be keeping track of the time for prepared speeches and education sessions and speech evaluation. To help speakers stay within within their allotted time, I will be using the traditional timing signals. The green card when the speaker has reached the minimum time, and the yellow card when the speaker is approaching the targeted time, and the red card when the speaker has reached their maximum allowable time. The speaker are accepted to wrap up their speech within 30 seconds after the red card is shown. I will report the all timing when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day. Let's keep things running smoothly on time. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prasad. Now, for the role of language evaluator, we have Toastmaster Ritu George. She's an image consultant, etiquette coach, yoga trainer, and past president of the Gabbys. A poised speaker and mentor, Ritu brings elegance, empathy, and energy to every stage. Her return reminds us why Toastmasters space is a space for growth, presence, and powerful storytelling. Toastmaster Ritu, please explain your role.
Thank you, General Evaluator, TM Sachin. My fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening. I am your English language auditor for today. I will be noting and reporting your diction as well as your dictionary. As language evaluator, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll make note of unnecessary words and sounds used by the speakers and role takers in today's meeting. My report would focus on 5 major areas. Filler words. inappropriate interjections. For example, and, well, but, so, you know, the use of crutch words, similar to basically, actually, the thing is, etc. Repetitive words or phrases in the form of I, or this means, unintentional long or short pauses made by speakers, or any other misuse of the English language. But I will also take note of any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. English language, when spoken well, is like music to the ears. So go ahead, use some ambitious vocabulary and make my day. Thank you, and I will be back later with my report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritu, and let's hear for Toastmaster Ritu. Now for the listener role, we have Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi is a project management professional with over 14 years of experience in finance and tech consulting. Passionate about solo travel and exploring new places, she is now on a journey to become an impactful communicator and inspire through her voice and experiences. Toastmaster Lakshmi, please explain your role.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for the warm introduction. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters present today in the meeting. I am the listener for the day. I'll be listening closely to everything said during the meeting, from the speeches to the evaluation. As for any Toastmaster meeting, active listening is very important. So I hope you all will pay close attention. And I will come back with few short questions or brief questions to test your listening skills at the end of the meeting. I hope you'll all be good listeners towards the end. Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll come back with short questions when called upon with the General Evaluator. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. Let's hear for Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. With this, I'll pass on the baton to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sachin. If I see that I'm getting old, I can still say all is well. And if I see my dog peeing on my favorite couch, I can still loudly say all is well. But what about those things that we can't see what's causing us trouble inside? So here we have our educational speaker, Dr. Shruti Niraj, who's a chartered clinical psychologist and senior consultant at Sree Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, where she also teaches in the Department of Psychiatry. She holds a doctorate in clinical psychology from the University of Birmingham, UK, and is registered with British Psychological Society and the UK's HCPC. Her work spans pain medicine, palliative care, and student mental health. She's trained in trauma focused therapies like EMDR and is a co-developer of Human Excellence Quotient model, reflecting her commitment to integrating compassionate care with clinical and educational excellence. We have an amazing educational speaker for the day. Wow. So she's here to do the topic. She's going to talk about how do you heal what you can't see. Huge round of applause to you, ma'am, from Gabbys family, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nancy and Saurav, for the invitation. It's such a pleasure to be with you all and to talk about a topic that I'm really passionate about, the trauma. So, Sreehari, can you share my PPT?
Sure, I'm sharing it.
Please go full screen.
Can you confirm if you're able to?
Yes, we can see the full screen slideshow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So, yeah, so this is what I've planned to talk today. And we'll go to the next slide, please. So trauma, people may have heard about this term or PTSD. We'll talk in a bit. Trauma, in simple words, is an extreme stress that can overwhelm, a person's ability to cope with threat to life, any threat of bodily harm or sanity. When they undergo such an experience, they can feel overwhelmed mentally as well as physically. Why does this matter at work? And I think I can see people who are working mostly in the corporate world. PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, is quite common condition, and it can impact colleagues or any one of us really. And untreated PTSD can affect our productivity, team dynamics, and mental wellness can enhance our performance and productivity. So PTSD or trauma has also been described as a hidden wound. Why is that? I would like you to look at the screen, maybe one person on the screen, and can you tell if they have undergone some really significant traumatic event? Perhaps it's very difficult to really know whether somebody has undergone a traumatic event or not, isn't it? Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands or say that someone has undergone. So what happens is, the trauma, why it is called a hidden wound or a silent scream, because it's very much in that person. It can't be seen, people can't hear it, they can't feel it, but the person who has undergone it really feel it, right? And they're not going to talk about it. So that's why it is called a hidden wound. So PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder is a common mental health condition. After a trauma, it can be a single event or a repeated or prolonged stress. And it's very much treatable, but often gets misunderstood condition. And it's a normal reaction to an abnormal situation, to extreme stress. And PTSD isn't just psychological, it is biological. It leads to significant changes in our brain. There are key brain areas that it can disrupt. It can disrupt our fear circuit system and the emotional regulation system. So if you can see, the amygdala on the screen, this is like our body's alarm system. And this becomes overactive if somebody has undergone a really significant trauma. Hippocampus, which is our like memory box, and that shrinks over time and it misprocesses memories. And our frontal part of the brain, which is the neocortex here, that also is the thinking part, and it is very slow to react. So it doesn't really kind of function well. Can we go to the next slide, please? So these changes and reactions are actually normal physiological responses to extreme stress. Therefore, a neuroscientist called Janet Sehorn describes this as a reorder rather than a disorder. Why is that? It's because, the neural network and the sensory pathways, the changes happen in those neural pathways and the sensory pathways so that we can survive in a very extreme or a dangerous situation. So let me simplify the story of the brain. Previous screen. Yeah, thank you. So we, as human beings, we are blessed with not just one, but actually three brains. There is the neocortex, which is the frontal part of the brain. This makes us humans, this is the structure that makes us, at the top of the hierarchy of the animal kingdom. And this is what gives us our personality, likes, dislikes, the choices that we make in day-to-day life, decision making, problem solving, the rational thinking happens in this area. The brainstem, which is the back of our head, or the reptilian brain in this diagram, that is the most primitive, the animal brain, and it is instinctive in nature. It responds to danger, goes into fight, flight, freeze, or faint. And the middle part of the brain is called the mammalian brain, or the emotional brain. I don't know whether people have watched a movie called Inside Out. Recently part 2 had come, and it shows beautifully, it shows beautifully the how the emotional regulation system works, how the neuroscience works. It's a beautiful movie, 2 parts. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. So in my next PPT, the screen, I've written that having a human brain is a blessing as well as a curse. Why is that? So we have this connection between our brain and heart and the other parts of our organs of the body. What connects this is called autonomic nervous system, and it has 2 parts: sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So these 2 parts, the parasympathetic nervous system is where we connect. It's the green system, yes, on the screen. This is where we connect, we love, we see the good parts of people and world around us. And when we are under threat, we shut down, we see others as a threat. So usually these 2 systems, the red and the green system, they work in sync with each other. But when somebody undergoes through a significant traumatic event, this delicate balance gets grossly disrupted. The fight, flight, and freeze system becomes hyperactive or overreactive, and it perceives threat every living moment. And this calming system, the green system, is unable to catch up. And that is why people can have a lot of the symptoms that we are going to talk about. Next slide, please. Yeah. So some of the causes you already perhaps know, being to a war or military combat, and yeah, please clicking, yeah, torture, accident, natural disasters, terror attacks, kidnapping, being a hostage, if somebody's undergone significant violence or abuse, it can be physical, emotional, and sexual. And then there are some other causes like being diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, undergoing medical procedures and surgery. Yes, sometimes these medical procedures somebody has to undergo, but they can be traumatic. And then there are some other traumas, like we sometimes don't really think that they are traumas, like somebody's had a bad childhood, neglect, lack of affection, warmth in their early life, job loss or relationship breakup, right? So sometimes, on this side, the war and military combat, torture, we call them as big T traumas. And on the other side, we call them as small T traumas. But sometimes, it's very difficult to compare two people who have had undergone different experiences. So one person's trauma is not another person's trauma, right? So I just want to highlight that. Next slide, please. Thank you. So there are some risk factors. Females are more vulnerable to develop PTSD, certain types of trauma, like sexual assault or being in a military combat, puts you more at risk. If somebody has undergone repeated trauma, lack of social support, if they have history of previous mental illness, some extra stressful events after a significant traumatic event like bereavement, pain, loss of a job, personality. External locus of control is where you're very passive. You're waiting for somebody else to help you or rescue you. You don't feel like you have the active, you're the active participant in that treatment. And then lower socio-economic factors. There are some factors in the next slide which make us little more resilient. Having a good social support network before the event, and also after the event, seeking out support from your family and friends, feeling good about your own actions in the face of danger, having helpful coping strategies. Why I said our brain is or our mind is a curse or a blessing. It's a blessing because we have this beautiful brain where we have memory and we can think about nice things. But when we undergo certain circumstances or certain kind of situations where we can't forget that event, right, that becomes like a curse, right? And we start to judge our actions, how we behaved. In animal kingdom, if some animal freezes or pretends to be dead, for them it doesn't matter as long as they've survived. But when one of us, we freeze in the face of danger or threat, we kind of, we judge ourselves. Next slide, please. So some of the symptoms are feeling numb, having flashbacks, nightmares, easily startled. Yeah. Next, please. So how it can show up at work, feeling withdrawn, mood swings, trouble concentrating, avoiding certain reminders, and overreaction to stress. There are some misconceptions. So like PTSD is a weakness or character flaw, but actually it's not a sign of weakness. Only veterans have PTSD. No, it is very common in general public as well. And there is some people think that children can't develop PTSD, but actually there are high rates. It is underestimated in children and adolescents. And there is also a myth that people with PTSD will never recover. It is very treatable. If you can take away that message from this talk, that we can treat this condition. So what can help? There is professional help available, psychological therapy, medication, peer support, healthy lifestyle. Also, employment can be an important part of recovery for people with PTSD. And we are doing some innovative treatment at SMS IMSR. We have a multidisciplinary team approach where we have a psychiatrist, clinical psychologist, and pain medicine specialist. We're doing some innovative treatments at our center, and we are getting really good outcomes. Next slide, please. So what can you do? If you're working with someone who you probably may not know has PTSD, you can recognize some of the signs, but avoid labeling people, judging people, passing judgment comments. Don't be afraid if you don't know what to do. You can ask someone what do they need. Now understand, not everyone with PTSD needs assistance or professional help. A lot of people really overcome these issues over time. And what you can do is provide them with support, patience, and understanding. And these are some of the things that one should not say to someone, getting over, just get over it. It wasn't too bad. Look at this person, they have overcome that. So, sometimes we can start comparing. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the coping strategies and go through a sort of a coping mechanism, but I don't know how much time I have. I can see the yellow card. So can somebody tell me how much time I have? I'm so sorry.
Oh, 1 minute is remaining.
Oh, 1 minute. So I may not be able to, maybe I can come back and teach you a couple of skills that may be helpful. So just one idea that you can take away from this. So I use this a lot in my work. This is called window of tolerance. All of us have this window where, things feel just right, where we are able to cope with whatever challenges life throws at us. Next slide, please. So what happens during trauma is people's window of tolerance shrinks. So if somebody has this big window before the event, the trauma can, significant trauma can reduce or shrink their window, and they can come out. Either they go above the window or go down the window. So when they go above, it is called hyperarousal. They go into this fight or flight. And when they go outside the window or down the window, they go into a hypoarousal, or kind of, feeling numb, collapse, that kind of a feeling. So in my assessment, I try to look at where people are at, and I try to give them those kind of coping strategies that will help them to come back into their window of tolerance. So I wanted to show you one technique, but maybe we can do another time. Thank you very much.
Dr. Neeraj, we can have that technique here. You can have another 5 minutes to yourself.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, thank you. That's very kind of you. So if we can go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So here, what I normally do is I amplify the cortex part, the frontal part, so that this gets more activated, and the back of the brain, where the animal or the most primitive part of the brain, which reacts, to calm down. So I teach that person some coping skills. So I call this 4 elements exercise. So I would like you to just notice how you're feeling, and if you can close your eyes, if that feels okay, I will just walk you through a very quick exercise. So we are all made up of elements, 5 elements. We are going to use 4 elements. So first of all, just notice where you're sitting, the weight of your body. If you can keep your feet on the ground and feel the ground, really notice the texture, the temperature of the floor underneath, the sounds you can hear inside the room and outside. Just pay attention to the sounds. Let the weight of your body sink into gravity and have a sense of letting go. Make the connection with the first element, earth, having complete faith that Mother Earth is supporting you, carrying you fully. Now slowly bring your attention to the second element, air. Notice how your body is breathing in, breathing out. We are going to take a few long, deep breaths. So as you breathe in through your nose, counting to 4. Hold your breath for 2 seconds and breathe out through your mouth, counting to 6, as if you're blowing a candle. Let's take 4 long, deep breaths like this. So breathing in through your nose, counting to 4, hold for 2, and breathe out for 6. Another long, deep breath in. Hold it and breathe out. Once you've taken enough long, deep breaths, you can settle into your natural rhythm of breathing, your own soothing rhythm. And now let's move to the third element, water. Bring your attention to your mouth, inside your mouth. Notice if it's dry or moist. Our mouth often goes dry when we feel nervous or anxious, and having saliva indicates we are feeling calm and relaxed. So in the next few seconds, we are going to make more saliva. So you can hold your tongue gently between your teeth, or you can roll your tongue. Imagine you're biting into a slice of lemon, anything that helps you to release more water, release more saliva in your mouth. And as you do this, notice how you have more control over your thoughts and your body. As you feel more grounded, breathing calmly and steadily, making more saliva, let's move to the fourth element, fire. So light up path of your imagination and bring up an image of a place that you find relaxing, peaceful. It can be by a riverside, in a forest, mountain, anything. Can be a corner of your house. Just notice all the sights you can see, the colors, textures. Are you sitting, standing, walking? How does the ground feel underneath your feet? Any particular smells, aromas you're aware of in this place? Notice the temperature. If you're out and about, sun shining, breeze blowing, how does that feel on your skin? As you notice all these elements in this place, notice how you feel and where you feel it in the body. If you're feeling calm and relaxed, where do you feel that in your body? We are going to close this exercise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shruti. That was very calming, I think. I think we all were really taken aback. If somebody has any questions, you can paste them and ask them now. Now is the time. I can see Priya telling us that she had a lovely and calming time with that exercise. Dr. Shruti, if I may ask, the global experience of the COVID-19 pandemic, it has significantly affected the collective behavior of the community. So is that also a PTSD, this kind of symptoms that we are observing among people?
Yeah, I think definitely a lot of people I met. I used to work in medical psychology in the UK, and
Right.
we see a lot of patients, not just patients, staff members experiencing symptoms of PTSD. So PTSD is a clinical diagnosis. We have to do a detailed assessment and whether they meet the criteria of that diagnostic criteria. Uh,
Mhm.
we can say that the symptoms of trauma in a lot of people may not meet that criteria, but yes, COVID-19, we experienced collective trauma, and a lot of
Yeah.
patients still experience. So you may have seen a lot of patients have got this preoccupation with illness, or we call it health anxiety. Recently treated one patient in our center with health anxiety who was looking after his uncle due
Mhm.
to and he died. He was taking him to the hospital, and on the way, unfortunately, he passed away. He was a photographer and he could not go back to work. For 3 years, he was struggling, going from one psychiatrist to another. They were giving him medication, but as you know, in India, especially where I work in rural India, people are not aware that there is psychological therapy available.
Mhm.
In our center, as I said, we have a multidisciplinary team and we have a pain medicine specialist. And he
Yeah.
has developed this new treatment where he gives an injection called
Mhm.
ganglion block, which uh, helps to calm down that sympathetic nervous system, that red system that I showed, which really helped him. And after that, he engaged in psychological therapy where we taught him some techniques. And he has now gone back to work and he has given us his testimonial as well. So people
Right.
can recover from it. They don't have to
Yes.
live with this condition.
Right. I can see some hands raised. Priya ji, do you like to ask your question?
Do we have time for a quick question?
Yeah, we can have two questions. Sreehari, by the time you can write your question in the chat.
Dr. Shruti, I just wanted to ask you a few tips. Post-COVID, the younger generation has gone through a lot of upheaval mentally. There's a lot of mental health, anxiety and other things that come. As parents, what are the tips you can give for us to, attend to children within our family or, near and dear ones who are younger than us? What are the tips we can keep in mind when something like that happens at home?
Of course. So one thing that we need to consider is that it depends on the age of that child. They may not be able to express how they are feeling, what they are feeling. They may not use the same words as adults use. They may manifest that in their behavior, right? So we need to be a little more perceptive. We need to go beyond the behavioral symptoms that they are exhibiting, right? Sometimes we can see children or adolescent even regressing back to their previous developmental stage. What do I mean by that is sometimes teenagers, they are pretty grown up and suddenly they start behaving like a child, right? And you think, why are they behaving like that? So we need to understand that sometimes the behaviors show what is going on inside of them. So you as a parent or as a guardian, you need to have a lot of patience and give them a long rope. Tell them that you're here for them whenever they are ready to talk. Sometimes they are not ready to talk, especially to a family member, to mother, father, right? So you can tell them that whoever you trust, they can talk to in the family. Maybe it's an aunt or an uncle or a friend or even a professional, like a counselor or a therapist, psychologist. So you need a lot of patience with children, right? That would be my first and foremost tip, that recognize those signs. Again, what I had written for the workplace, recognize those signs but don't label them, right? I hope it answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I please give ma'am a huge round of applause. Renu, are we done with the questions or do we have any more time?
We can take a few questions in the break time also.
Okay.
Like
all
it's
right.
almost a break time now.
Yes. So appreciate your time, ma'am, your valuable insights and sharing a few ways of how to deal with underlying emotional issues or blocks. My takeaway is PTSD is treatable and I'm already relaxed. So let's all go for break. And if you have any more questions or the questions that are left in the chat box will be answered by ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Dr. Shruti, we have one question that is from Toastmaster Ritu. She's asking the hormonal imbalance, like the perimenopause stage, is a cause of PTSD?
It may, if somebody has, it's not a direct link from what I know, but what can happen is if they've had some previous traumas, let's say previous experiences, and then during menopause, the lot of hormonal changes that we undergo, it can kind of put your sympathetic nervous system can become overactive because of that. So I wouldn't say that it causes trauma, but it can worsen or it can bring up the previous experiences that somebody's undergone to the surface.
So how do you recognize this if one is going through, like, what is the thin line between, a PTSD or depression or anxiety? I don't know, they're very borderline related. So
Yes.
I'm not very clear. How would you understand that, right?
Yeah, so I actually I had few more slides which I had to skip, and I before the bringing the presentation here, I had actually taken those slides out. So I had the lot of the these signs and symptoms, how do we differentiate? But then I thought, it will become a very long presentation as it is. I was struggling with time, keeping the time, because it's a vast topic. So we have different features and signs and symptoms for each and every disorder. So for example, you're right, people with PTSD, they will have associated disorders like depression, anxiety, especially panic disorder, right? People will have panic attacks. So in PTSD, what the differentiating feature is having a lot of nightmares, flashbacks. People may feel like they are reliving that experience. Let's say somebody's, I had a patient who was, who had been deployed. So I worked with him in the UK. He had been to Iraq, Afghanistan. And when he was experiencing that flashback, he felt as if he was back there in Afghanistan. Any loud bang would re-trigger him, and he would it would take him back to that place. So that was a very kind of, no, it's a people with depression may not have that kind of feature. Then a lot of avoidance, which is very common in anxiety also, but here people are avoiding the reminders of that situation, that place, even the smell. So I worked with a lady who had undergone a lot of medical procedures. She was born with congenital heart disease, and any smell, like hospital smells, will trigger her flashback and her anxiety. So these are some of the features that will be not present in other disorders like anxiety disorders or depression disorders.
Okay, we have just 2 minutes more, and I'll take one more question. That is from Toastmaster Sreehari. So he has this question: does some negative event that happens to us in the early stage of life sets us for the rest of our lives, or something even? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes and no. They say that, there's a famous saying, what doesn't break us makes us stronger, right? So sometimes it can be a predisposition. What I mean by that is, it can be a vulnerability factor undergone if you've undergone some really bad experiences in your childhood. But not everybody who experiences those type of experiences will have PTSD, or it will be lifelong. It depends on what other experiences you've undergone, whether you've got someone who cared for you, who kind of, you had other experiences in life that have shaped you and supported you, you can overcome those. Not everybody who undergoes difficult experiences will experience PTSD. We have our natural healing capacity, and we can overcome these things. And sometimes these things can make us really strong, and it can help us to deal with those challenges in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sachin, for all that insight. I think that leaves us with the scope of another session with you. We'll really look forward to your next session with Gabbys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back
And
to you,
I'm
TMOD.
really sorry for taking longer than.
No problem. No worries, ma'am.
No
It's our pleasure. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. I request everyone to be back after the break, and a huge round of applause for Dr. Shruti. Thank you. So, quick show of hands. How many of you actually feeling all is well right now after the session? Yes, yes. Is it because you know it all, how to deal with it from the education session, right? Right. So, all is well, all is well. The simple phrase has magical powers, doesn't it? Yes. The beauty of this phrase is it reminds us to breathe, to pause, to not panic when life decides to prank us. So, now that you know what to do in crisis, let's have some fun. And I need some volunteers for that. Who's in? Okay. So on the funny side, I want to try optimistic sarcasm. All right. I will give a few examples using the phrase all is well, a little sarcastic comments, but then on a positive side, which should be humorous. And I want every one of you to volunteer yourself and come back, tell your statements as well. So for example, I'll say all is well until the Wi-Fi stops working. Okay. And I'll say another example could be, I keep saying all is well to my bank account. It doesn't believe me. Okay, so who's gonna take next? I want everyone to be on the camera and bring in the smile. Bring your creative side.
All is well until I have all the salary in my account and it's not spent.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next. You can leave such statements in the chat box as well if you're shy to read it out. I don't mind. Who's next? Renu, please go ahead.
I'm still thinking. There are so many things. All is well until this. That's again, God. Give me some time. I'll come back.
All is well until I found the all is well until I found the message of my husband's ex messaging him, which I caught after marriage.
Okay, that speaks of sarcasm. All right, thank you. You made us laugh. Next. Any volunteers for that? Still thinking. See, but okay, fine. I do have some comments like that. Don't think I'm not a joke master, but I picked up from the internet, so I'm gonna read it out for you just to bring that smile after thinking about PTSDs and everything. All right, so all is well is just a confident cousin of let's see what happens. You understand? All is well is a confident cousin of let's see what happens. Okay, that didn't work well. Right. So all is well said no one's stuck in the traffic on a Monday. If all is well had a ringtone, it would be nervous laughter. Okay, I didn't get this one as well. Okay, so all is well, the adult version of the dog didn't eat my homework. Such kind of sarcasm is what we're calling. Okay, say all is well 3 times and magically nothing changes, but you feel better. How is that? It's okay. All is well, the customer support answers to every issue. Okay, this is good. Behind every all is well, someone is Googling how to fix that all is well. All right, so thank you for trying, but yeah, it didn't work. No matter what chaos is happening, we Toastmasters can turn it into laughter. We at least try, and connection even in life, right? Thank you for playing along. You all have officially, I thought you earned it, but you did not earn the degree of optimistic sarcasm. No. All right, let's kick off with the prepared speeches segment where our speakers deliver their best and we nod like philosophers, pretending to understand every word. Before we begin, let me ask, have you ever prepared a speech so well only to forget everything the moment you stood up? It happened with me a lot of times. And then I have to do this and do my hair and everything. Yeah. Yeah, been there, but don't worry, here at Toastmasters, we support each other through every blank out, brain freeze, and unplanned ums. Okay, so the speech session, the first speaker of the day is Toastmaster Deepa Bhandari, a commerce graduate, works at reputed French bank, born in Bangalore with roots in Nepal. She's a foodie, avid traveler, and fitness enthusiast. Excited to return to Toastmasters, she joins Gabbys to reconnect, grow, and rediscover the power of purposeful expression. So her path is presentation mastery, level L1, project number 1. It's an icebreaker, and the speech duration is 4 to 6 minutes. Deepa Bhandari, ashes to riches, Deepa Bhandari. Over to you.
Have you ever been to the safaris or the aquarium land and seen the creatures around there and felt you wish you could emulate any of their trait in you? Just raise your hands. For example, if you have seen a cheetah and wish you could be as fast as a cheetah, or if you have seen a fish being able to breathe under the water and I wish I could have that ability to breathe under the water. Did you ever feel like that? Well, yes, I did so too. Thank you. I've always been intrigued and fascinated about these birds, the way their ability to soar through the skies, to migrate from one place to another place with all the freedom, the way how they see the whole world with different perspective has always made me wish I could fly just like a bird. A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Deepa. I'm from Bangalore. I have done my schooling from Kannada Jyoti Convent, which by name itself says it's a Kannada medium. But yes, I did have one language called English, which has always been an alien language to me. I learned anything about this language or got to know about this language only after I stepped into a proper English coaching institution, which is Jyotinivas. That's where I saw that the girls around me dressed up really well, spoke fluent English, had great confidence and perfect body language. And on the other side, it was me, who did not know anything about this language, did not dress up well. I lacked confidence and my body language was very poor. I also saw my cousins going to international schools. They dressed up well, they ate good food. But they stopped being friends with me. They stopped being my family because they were falling under the category of being rich and I was falling under the category of being poor. Well, I was not always born poor. I was born rich. I was born to a loving parents. I had my own house. I had two of my older siblings who went to the English convent up until one day when I was 3 years old. We heard a tragic news that my father, who was the only breadwinner for the family, met with a severe accident. He was hospitalized and he was in coma. Hearing this shocking news, my mother was traumatized. She was devastated. She did not know what to do. She wanted to end up on her life. She did try to attempt to give up on her life twice, but both the times she failed. Somehow she gathered all the courage to live. But I do remember every time she telling that back then, living was much more heavier than death. But she decided to live. She decided to live for us. My mother sold the house and the jewelry she got during her wedding to look after my father's medical expenses. My father lived, but his mental condition is still very bad. My mother, in order to look after the daily expenses and to send us to the school, she had to get into garments because she's uneducated. She does not have any sort of family support or financial support. So she was just 18 years old when she got into this garments, where she made only 600 rupees. And with that 600 rupees, she had to pay school fees. She had to look after the day-to-day expenses also. Our relatives who used to be family, they literally stopped inviting us to any of the family functions, or even coming to our house. My mother used to tell at times, if I get back home late, make sure that you go back to the uncle's house and stay there. So when we used to go to my uncle's house, my aunt used to tell us not to sit on the sofa, not to sit on the chair. She would make us sit near the doormat. We would literally eagerly wait for my aunt to give us food, because she would give really fresh meals to her children, and she would give us the leftover food from her children's plate. But we would still anyways eat. But the times when my mother used to see this, she would cry. She used to feel very bad. She used to feel very broken. Growing up, I realized, seeing all this situation so close, I understood one thing, that money played a very important role in life. Money makes people's behavior, people's attitude towards you change completely. So I made up my mind while I was studying my degree, 3 years along with my degree. I did 2 part-time jobs. I made money. I gave that money to my mother so that she could manage financially. But it was definitely not enough. I studied really hard. I knew that in order to get into a good corporate, I had to learn English. Otherwise, I'm never going to get into a proper corporate. So I got this Oxford Hindi to English translated dictionary, where I spent 3 to 5 years, 6 years learning English translated through Hindi. I spent a lot of time. I gave a lot of my energy, dedication, commitment, and I'm very happy to say that now, because of all my mother's hard work, the sacrifices that she made, I have been able to finally get into a very good, one of the best organization, in fact, which is Goldman Sachs, where I worked for 5 years. I made a really good amount of money. Now I own a 4-storied building in Bangalore. I have couple of properties in Bangalore. I live in a luxurious villa. My mother and I wear real jewelries, and we flaunt going to all the functions. And the best news is, relatives who used to not call us now are inviting us to smallest of the smallest event, where they're not judging us, where they're not asking us if the jewelries we are wearing are artificial or are real gold. So one thing that I understood is the trait that I have been looking forward to in a bird, which is to fly. Metaphorically, I already had it in me, which is that of a phoenix. A phoenix bird is known to rising to its beautiful richness, to its most powerful form, only when it is burnt. So, my dear Toastmasters and guests, I have finally found my trait, that of a bird, which is phoenix, because I have come from ashes to riches. I hope you will be able to find your trait soon too. Over to you, TMOD.
Wow. Huge round of applause and a standing ovation for her, since it is a icebreaker speech. Thank you for sharing your inspiring story, Deepa Bhandari. Inspiration need not come from those successful people. It can come from a bird, it can come from a fish, it can come from a young corporate person like you, who actually made it happen already. And what are you going to do after this? All right, thank you so much. So the second speaker for the day is Toastmaster Priya Singh. Priya is a marketing professional and business management academician with a passion for creative writing and poetry. We heard her already. Through her podcast, Soulful Scrolls, she explores poetic expression. We have to read that. She joined Toastmasters to sharpen her public speaking skills and become an inspiring, influential voice for others. So her path is Presentation Mastery, Level 1, Project number 4. Project name is Evaluation and Feedback. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Speech duration will be for 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please note it. And Priya Singh, the ripple effect. Priya Singh, over to you.
TMOD, can we check the availability of evaluators? Are they in the room?
Can you
can
confirm
just-
if evaluator 2 is in the room? Okay, I haven't.
She's Yogita and the evaluator 1.
I'm
And
there.
yeah,
Okay, we have Yogita.
next is we have Samita. Samita,
Yes,
are you?
I'm there.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Renu, for that. And thanks, evaluators.
Am I audible?
Priya Singh, ripple effect. Priya Singh, you're audible. Go ahead.
Thank you. There's no such thing as a small act of kindness. Every act creates a ripple with no logical end. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, kindness seems to be so rare these days, isn't it? Well, I thought so too. Until recently, I witnessed how a small act of kindness can set off a beautiful chain reaction. A few weeks ago, I was preparing for 2 back-to-back trips in different cities, visiting my children. My list of things to pack for my children was growing longer. You know how it is. When you are a mother, there are so many things your bag needs to carry than just clothes. It carries love, care, and 200 miscellaneous items that your children think you can magically pack and put it in your bag. My bags were really heavy. My stress levels were soaring. I kept muttering to myself, why did I even plan these back-to-back trips? Take the porter at the station, okay? My husband said casually. Easier said than done, right? The doorbell rang. Who could it be at this hour? It's Prema Auntie, my old neighbor. Hello, Auntie. Is everything okay? You look a bit worried. My husband is very unwell, Priya. My son has gone on a business trip. I don't know what to do. Don't worry, I got this. I'll take care of it. I made an emergency call to the nearby nursing home and arranged a doctor immediately. Auntie, the doctor will reach in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't worry. How can I thank you enough? You're such a kind-hearted soul. God bless you, my beta. Don't worry, Auntie. Calm down. Everything will be fine. I'm just a phone call away. Crisis handled. I went back to my packing. My suitcase were half unpacked and fully overwhelming. But now there was a little calm in my heart. The next morning, I was on a train to Bangalore. A 5-hour journey with 3 heavy bags and just 2 minutes to get off at the station. Sitting next to me in the train compartment was a pleasant-looking middle-aged couple. After exchanging few pleasantries, I happened and took the courage to ask the man, if he could help me carry my bags to the cabin door just before my stop came. Of course, he said smilingly. And so he did. Just before my stop arrived, he helped me carry those heavy bags back to the cabin door. I was so relieved, thinking, wow, what a kind stranger. And that was not it. When I requested him to go back to his seat, he just shook his head and said, I will get down at the platform and place your bags on it. And he did exactly so. I was so touched by the generosity of the stranger. And here's the miracle. My train compartment stopped exactly where the station exit was, and I reached the taxi stand in record time. I'm sure many of you would have experienced how it takes like forever for the Uber cab to come to the station. But that day, the cab arrived in just 5 minutes. Amazing, right? Everything fell into place so smoothly. On the way to my daughter's place, something clicked. This journey that had begun with me helping someone else, a small act of kindness from me to Prema Auntie, had come full circle back to me through this stranger and this smooth journey. That's when I realized that this ripple effect of kindness had begun the day before. So, friends, kindness knows no logic. It doesn't follow a straight line. It is a ripple that flows from heart to heart, from place to place, and moment to moment. So I leave you all with this thought today. Don't wait for a reason to be kind. Be the reason for someone else to smile. Open a door. Lift that bag. Say a kind word. Help someone. Because the kindness that you show today may be the kindness that finds you tomorrow. So let's be the ripples that keeps kindness flowing forever. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much for the wonderful speech, Toastmaster Priya. Heart to heart, place to place, moment to moment. I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. Thank you. Up next is the evaluation segment where we give feedback, not the kind your relatives give at weddings or Deepa's weddings, but actually constructive insights. So Toastmaster believes in one golden rule: evaluate like a sandwich. Price, suggest, price. And if everything else fails, it's all right, all is well. So one question. Have you ever started your evaluation with, wow, what a speech, because you forgot what you wanted to say? I did sometimes. So now let's welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sachin. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Shilpa, for a great session. And now coming to evaluation, our first evaluator for Speaker 1, Toastmaster Deepa, is TM Gurdit Singh. Personally on a journey to be an impactful communicator and professional territory business manager, a recent entrant to the corporate world trying to juggle with never-ending tasks. Toastmaster Gurdit, please give your feedback.
Thank you, General Elevator TM, and good evening to everyone, especially to the target speaker, DM Deepa. So it was a great speech and an inspirational speech as well. How we have risen from the difficult situations to the current situation that you have achieved. The intro was spot on, and I guess everybody was hooked from the introduction as well. It immediately caught our attention. The question that you have posed, it was able to get the attention of, it was able to get my attention, and I am hoping that it was able to get the attention of the audience and the other members present in the uh, meeting as well. So the story and the flow were very engaging. It kept me hooked from the start to end. And but one thing that was not that much clear, that what you were trying to focus on. That if was it the part that you have overcome from all the difficulties that you have faced, or was it the specifically that part that you are coming from a Kannada medium school, and then you have gone to an English coaching, and then you have learned the English as a language, and then you have overcome those difficulties, so that there was a little confusion in that part. So this was the major point that was there. And another thing that was that you were quite it felt like you are rushing through the speech. Your pace was on somewhat higher side, and if you could have slower down your pace a bit, it could have helped us better to be better connected with your speech. So, but overall, it was a great speech, and it looked like it, it looked like that it wasn't your first speech for the first. You were not speaking for the first time, right? You had the confidence. You used the screen very well. But the only thing that I would recommend, my recommendation would be just to practice your pace, just to just slow down on your pace, and that's everything is good. And best of luck for your uh, upcoming speeches. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gurdit. Our second evaluator for speaker one is Toastmaster Prabha Luhaniwal. Prabha is a fun-loving, ambitious, and sporty person. Alongside her profession as a product manager, she finds delight in exploring new places and immersing herself in a different cultures through travels. Over to you, Toastmaster Prabha.
Hi everyone. So my camera is little glitchy. So Toastmaster Deepa, very inspiring story, and a very good usage of. So I'll start off with the things that went well with your speech. Was the great use of stage, and I could see the vocal variety, the body language, the facial expression and gestures changing from first part, which is like your difficult time, to the second part of the story, which is the time when you started rising and shining. So that was the variation. These three variation, I could see it in your first to second part. And then your energy, yes, definitely it was very much aligned with the message that you were trying to uh, you know say through your story. Lastly, as I said, the body language, facial expression and gestures change from first part to second part. The vocal tone also changed in this first to second part. Now what you can improve in your next speech is adding more facial expression, body language, and gesture, and even the vocal tone, even in the first part and the second part, because first part has a lot of times when you went through a lot of emotions, family times where you could have used more body language and expression on micro expression on your face. But I guess that was because there was so much to say in the story, and you were kind of hurrying with the story, so maybe it didn't come out well. So maybe concising the story so that you can express yourself more through your content. would be a great addition to your next speech. Uh, so overall, yes, it was a good, engaging story. Only thing we need to add more is adding expression and language, body language, and all these things. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prabha. Now, our evaluator one for second speaker, Toastmaster Priya, is Toastmaster Yogita. Toastmaster Yogita is joyful, go with the flow person who thrives in a role as HR professional, an image and soft skill trainer, a true people person. She enjoys dancing, reading thought provoking books, exploring new places, and trying out different cuisines beyond her 9 to 5 routine. Over to you, Toastmaster Yogita.
Can I also have my target speaker spotlighted, please? Thank you. Thank you, Zoom moderator. Toastmaster Priya, it was wonderful to come here back, and so glad I was an evaluator to your speech. Your speech on the ripple effect was such a joy to listen to be very honest. From the very beginning, you had my attention hooked, and I stayed the same way throughout. The way you have structured it, starting strong, moving smoothly through your points, and ending it with a clear takeaway, it made it so easy to follow. Nothing very extraordinary, but the language and the expressions that you put on, they were bang on. What I really loved was how original your thoughts were. It was as if you're telling it to your friend. You didn't just explain the ripple effect, you brought it to life with two of your examples. And on top of it, the cherry on the cake was the props that you used. The dupatta that you used to throw and the other clothes that you just thought, they were just not there. They made your message more stronger and more relatable. Now, one thing I would like to tell you is your message came across very loud and clear. Your small actions, they did create quite big waves for me. And you delivered in a way that felt very neutral, smooth transitions that kept the audience. But only one suggestion, if I have to make right now, it is just play a little more with your space. During the part when you were describing the taxi arriving, I could almost feel the surprise, but stepping a bit closer to the camera and showing that excitement of the face. And you know what? The taxi arrived. You know, that smile that will instantly, oh, wow, like, dude, in Bangalore, taxi arrived on time. Wow, that's something not many people would expect. That excitement was missing. So now I would like to challenge you to put that way. I mean, play more with your vocal variety. All in all, your content was original, engaging, relevant, and you did not only speak about ripple effect, you also created one with your speech. I truly enjoyed listening to you. Kudos to you. Congratulations on delivering such a wonderful speech. Hoping to listening more of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yogita, for a critical evaluation. Now, our evaluator number 2 for Toastmaster Priya is Toastmaster Samita Kar. And Toastmaster Samita needs no introduction. She has already been introduced in the beginning. Over to you, Toastmaster Samita.
Thank you, General Evaluator. My target speaker, Priya Singh. The smile on your face, the warmth with which you speak, instantly hooks us. And we keep on wondering, what are you going to say? We are intrigued. You spoke about ripple effect. You had to use your body language for your story. And you immediately brought in two characters, which helped you in the storytelling. That was a very smart move because vocal variety and body language both get covered by those two new characters who is there in your speech. You had to speak about a story. You were narrating a story. So there was a free flowing story where we could guess what the next step was. Though it was a very interesting story, very well said. And the topic that you have picked up, the ripple effect, was something which we all love to hear about. About the highlights and the good points I've spoken about. Now, there are certain things which you could do better. And as in Toastmasters, we always, and this is your feedback because you have to come back and give it the second speech. So now what could you do different while you are delivering your second speech? First, I will speak about the angle of your camera. Try to place the camera where it is on your level of your face because you're using body language. Now, when you're using body language, when you are trying to play two characters, you need to have your camera at a place where we can see your face properly. We can see the expressions on your face. The second thing is that please don't have any background. Otherwise, your hand gestures are not visible. You're doing it, but we can't see it. And while you are speaking, since it's an online platform, we have a mic. You have to be always mindful, even if you are moving to the side or you're moving your face, that mic should catch your voice clearly. And I'm very sure you will be doing the small little things. I loved your story, but I'll challenge you to polish your story further, not give away the ending. Let us have some twists and turns where we are waiting for the ending. And that is how I would love to hear your next speech. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I'll request my TLL team to give their report. Timer Toastmaster Prasad, can you give your report?
There is a no disqualification as of now for the speaker 1 and 2, and for the evaluation also. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prasad, for a crisp report. I loved your report. Now I'll request Toastmaster Ritu George to give her report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. It was quite an exciting session. A lot of work for me, I can tell you, because everybody was at their very best. Very eloquent set of people. Well, some impressive words were used. Intrigued, spans, cohesion, grossly, resilient, numb, startled, exhibit, flaunt, soaring, muttering. I could go on. I may have missed a few. I'm only human. There were some quotes, idioms, phrases, a hidden wound, ashes to riches, cherry on the cake, a lot of analogies, metaphors, similes. The TMOD mentioned, if you don't agree with me to my question, you might all be saints. So she compared us to saints. The keynote speaker, amygdala, to an alarm system. TM Deepa compared herself to a phoenix. There were alliterations. What is an alliteration? It's a sound, recurrent sound of a consonant at the beginning of the words that are close together. So a lot of those came out today. Fight, flight, freeze, faint, for example. Then there was educational excellence, clear, concise. And also there was anaphora, very bad, very broken. What is an anaphora? Is a repetition of a word or a phrase. So somebody used it. I may have missed the name. Very bad, very broken. There was a rule of 3, which was used also quite a bit here today. The keynote speaker used it on 2 occasions. Threat of life, threat of bodily harm, threat of sanity. Then support, patience, and understanding. Then you came with your rhetorical and hypophora, rhetorical questions, which you don't need an answer to. But there was hypophora too. Some people asked and answered thereafter. How do you heal what you can't see? The title in itself was a rhetorical question. Then speaker 2 asked, who could it be? She paused and then she said it was Prema Auntie Prema. So she answered her own question. There was some oxymorons, calm and chaos, blessing as well as a curse, optimistic sarcasm, ashes to riches. The keynote also used some technique of emphasis by using two adjectives which meant the same thing or have a similar connotation. Nervous.
Sorry, Toastmaster Ritu, we can't hear you. Okay, while I think there is some technical glitch, so I'll hand over the stage now to the listener, Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi. Over to you, Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi.
I'm sorry, I think I got logged out, but almost done with my report.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Ritu, for a wonderful report on language, and I really liked your report. You brought about alliteration, then you spoke about anaphora, rule of three, rhetorical, hyperphora. Wonderful. Now I'll move to the next role taker in my team, which is listener of the day, Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi. Sree Lakshmi, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, General Evaluator. I hope you're all geared up to test your listening skills today. So before we get started, some quick rules. So if the question is related to you, and especially for the evaluators, if the question is related to your speaker, so please refrain from answering those questions. So otherwise, first question, where is our first speaker, Toastmaster Deepa, from?
Nepal.
Nepal.
That's correct. So based on our keynote session, what does PTSD stand for?
Post-traumatic stress
disorder.
That's correct. So based on the session again, what is the flight freeze or flight system called? It actually had a name. That's correct. So how soon did the cab come for our second speaker when she reached the station?
5 minutes.
Just 5 minutes.
That's correct. And again from a session, what is the rational or the thinking brain portion called by Dr. Shruti?
Neocortex.
That's correct, yeah. So I believe all were good listeners today, and thank you, and had a wonderful session today with all of you. And thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi. Now I'll come to my evaluation. The meeting started on time at 7:30. Kudos to our Sergeant Arm Toastmaster Priya to start meeting with such a smiling face. You brought a lot of energy. You started with a poem. That was the icing on the cake, and that's a perfect way to start, a meeting. The poem "All Is Well." Great job done. You set the tone of the meeting very well. Stressed on club mission. That was also well done. Only the areas of improvement, if I may point out, there was a technical glitch, and you went on mute for a few seconds. We must think that you are the opener of the inning. We need to very well prepared because you are going to set the tone of the meeting. So this kind of technical glitches have to be taken care. So please be well prepared so that we don't have any technical glitch in future. Apart from this, a great job done. A big round of applause for Sergeant Arm Toastmaster Priya. Then coming to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Samita Kar. I must say, Toastmaster Samita, you are very articulate. You articulate yourself well and you are very expressive. You greeted again with a lot of energy. You greeted the guests with a lot of energy, made them very comfortable, and also asked them to stay till end to give the feedback, which is the right way to do. And then you gave a good overview of Toastmasters meeting to the guests and why we come to this Toastmaster platform. You explained that to the guests very well. And also you explained about the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. So well done. And you also, as a true presiding officer, you asked members to participate in the humorous speech contest which is happening. So well job done as a PO. So a big round of applause for our presiding officer, Toastmaster Samita Kar. Now coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shilpa, and I must say it was a well coordinated, really great session. You opened with a smile and a question, and that's the perfect way to start a TMOD session and get in touch with the audience. I must say that you know your audience very well, and you can really impress them with your language and style. That's really a great way. And I must say you explained the thing very well with different situations. You gave very different situation, and then you said that I gave the message that all is well changes the situation, but sometimes it doesn't change the situation, but you feel better. So, and you actually then you introduced the educational speaker with a lot of warmth, which was really well done. You gave a warm welcome to G as well as the speakers. Great job done. Some of the areas where you really excelled at was you love. I love the idea of opening the forum for questions during the break. We all knew that the time was short, but you are quick in thinking, and you opened the forum during the break for questions. That was really well done. I really liked it. And I must say that you brought life to the phrase "all is well." And then the icing on the cake was fun session on the theme. We all know that today there is no table topic session, but you played the role of table topics master also, which I really liked it. It was quite creative, and you made this session quite interactive. So well done. You have donned the hats of both TMOD and table topic master. Great job done, and I really enjoyed your session. Now, coming to our speeches, our first speaker was Toastmaster Deepa. And I must say, it was an icebreaker, but it never looked like icebreaker. And you have said that you graduated from a Kannada school, but it never looked to me that you graduated from a Kannada school because you were so fluent. Your English was perfect and you were so fluent. And and you spoke about the journey of your English language, how, and then in the body section you spoke about how your family struggled, you struggle, and then you came out as a winner, where you created wealth as well as property for your family, and then you and your family were respected by all your relatives. What an inspiring story, and a great ice breaking speech. I really loved it. I'll not point out too much areas of improvement because I know it's an ice breaking speech, and you are just fresh in this journey, and a lot of improvements are required. But I liked your speech, and really hats off to you. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Deepa for a great ice breaking speech. Then coming to the evaluator one, Toastmaster Gurdit, I must say it was a very clinical evaluation, but few points which I want to just raise. Considering that it was an ice-breaking speech, your evaluation should have been more encouraging. And if in the ice-breaking speech our evaluation is not encouraging, then the speaker will not. It will discourage him to take another another speech. So we must be very encouraging. So we have to be careful and giving the areas of improvement. We should ensure that it should not discourage the speaker. That is one thing we should keep in mind while giving evaluation for the ice breaking speeches. Apart from that, your evaluation was quite clinical. I like that. Now coming to second evaluator of Toastmaster Deepa, I loved your evaluation, Toastmaster Prabha. This is how one should handle an ice-breaking speech, where you really encourage the speaker, and the good usage of body language and good energy, and and then you also spoke about how she transitioned from phase 1 to phase 2, which I really liked, and I liked the way you did, and it was quite encouraging. And then you also stress on the area of improvement, but it was quite well done. So really, I really loved your evaluation, Toastmaster Prabha. A round of applause for Toastmaster Prabha. Now coming to our next speaker, speaker number 2, Toastmaster Priya Singh. And I must say, Toastmaster Priya Singh, it was a great speech, great speech. And the way you have, enacted various roles, especially your dialogue with between you and your auntie, the way you have enacted the dual roles, it was awesome. Awesome. I've seen I've not seen this kind of dialogue between two people in such a beautiful way you have carried it out. So kudos to you. And the topic was really good. It was very close to my heart. Act of kindness, it brings up ripple effect. And the message was also great that at the end that be kind, and kindness always flows from heart to heart, and it always completes full circle. What a beautiful message. I must say it's a great job done, Toastmaster Priya. And a big round of applause for Toastmaster Priya. Now, coming to evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Yogita, I must say you are very critical and very encouraging. And I liked the one improvement you have stressed that you have to, that Toastmaster Priya should have shown more excitement. And you have also shown how she could improve by enacting it. That's a great, a good, I will say property of an evaluator where the evaluator shows how to improve. See, giving a just saying that you have to improve rather than showing how to improve, that's really a great quality of a good evaluator, which Toastmaster Yogita you have, and I liked the evaluation. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Yogita. Now coming to our evaluator for Toastmaster Samita Kar, and I must say Toastmaster Samita Kar, you articulate yourself very well and you are very expressive. And the way you have evaluated, I really like the point of improvements which we have brought out. One was how to place the angle of camera when you are giving a speech online. It should be at the face level, a very valid point. Then you said that don't have any background. Again, I agree with that completely. So the areas of improvement were really good, Toastmaster Samita, and I must say you are a very great speaker and an evaluator, and I liked your evaluation. So this is it from my side. I really enjoyed this meeting, and with this I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Shilpa.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sachin, and huge round of applause for all the TAGL team for the wonderful job. Wow. So, okay, coming back to the comments, there are 2 comments that people left about the optimistic sarcasm that I asked about. One is, I think by Elios, all is well till the Wi-Fi signal drops. I already said that. Second one is, all is well till someone eats the last donut. That makes sense. I would say all is well till my husband asked to make one more chapati after I switched off the stove. Okay, that's not at all well. All right. However, I felt that the fun game didn't work, but it's okay. All is well. So what a journey today has been, and we've learned through the education session. We heard great speeches, we laughed, we survived and made it this far despite all the nerves. We lived our theme, all is well. If there is one thing that Toastmasters teaches us, things won't go perfectly. That's what it teaches us. But if you show up, you speak up, and lift each other up together, everything eventually works out. That's what we've been practicing it for years in Toastmasters. So the next time when life throws you a curveball, a speech goes wrong, a fun exercise goes wrong, a slide refuses to open, or your mic doesn't work, or technical glitches like Ritu faced, just smile, breathe and say, All is well. So now you know what to do when life gives you lemon without sugar and water. We just say,
All is
all
All
well.
is
is
well.
well. That is the mantra, that is the mindset, and a mild illusion sometimes, but it works. So we're on time. I think, yeah, we finished much early. Thank you for being such an amazing audience. Back to our presiding officer, Samita Kar, Toastmaster Samita Kar.
Thank you. Thank you. Let us hear from our TMOD. All is well.
Well.
Lovely. Yes. In the daily hustle bustle that we go through, this one mantra definitely makes our day better. When stuck in Bangalore traffic, or your kids are throwing things here and there, husband is asking for chapati, or you just want to relax and a guest is at home, all is well, all is well, and things will go work out in the end. Thank you for such an amazing session today, Toastmaster Shilpa. Now, today we had the educational session, which was really an eye-opening session for us. We forget that sometimes we do not take these things seriously, or on the other hand, we feel there is nothing we can do about it. If we have such symptoms, we know where to go, seek help, give an environment, be there with them to talk whenever they are ready. Today, we have, let me check. Okay, we have Balaji Ingole. Are you a visiting Toastmaster or a guest? I would love to see you on camera. I would, Balaji, are you there?
Yeah, hi. Sorry.
Yes. So if you can give us a quick feedback, you have been there in this meeting and how you liked it and what you would you like us to improve on?
Today was my first Toastmaster as a guest.
Mhm.
So the meeting was thorough and everyone is enjoying how they speak, and the evaluation is also on to the mark. So basically, this is a kind of a collaborative learning sessions. I like the structure of it. In terms of improvement, I don't see any kind of improvements because it's perfect on the spot. And love to attend and learn. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But I would love to hear, where are you from and where did you hear about Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club?
Oh yeah, I got referred by a fellow Toastmaster. So I'm from US right now. I'm
Okay.
joining from East Coast.
Mhm.
So basically, I'm a project manager at a US-based company, and would love to learn like how to do the voice modulation and all. So still learning phase.
Okay, okay. That was lovely to hear from you. Please come, do join our guest group, and you will be informed of all the meetings and you can definitely come and join.
Yep.
Fellow Toastmasters, get ready for the contest. The table topic contest of Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmaster is happening on 9th September. Be ready, and the humorous speech contest will be on 16th September. So I'm sure all of you have started writing down your speeches and you all have started to practice those speeches. Gabby's will have their table topic on 13th September, followed by the humorous speech on 20th September. That is all about the updates, and if anyone would like to say anything regarding the meeting, you all have been there in the room for such a long time. And Sreehari, you can please post the polls for today. We have the polls. Please start voting for the best role taker, the best auxiliary role taker of this meeting. Now, when we come to Gabbys, we come with an intention that we need to learn how to speak. I would love to ask the fellow Toastmasters, is it only speaking or did you learn something else? What did you learn? Anyone? Yes. Speaker one, Deepa, what did you learn?
Oh my God, there was so much learning today from right from understanding through the education session that we had. There's so much of not understanding about the sort of um, uh, things that we have, emotionally, mentally, and how to differentiate and what sort of helps are available through evaluation sessions. The session that we had with Ritu doing an excellent job with the language. I learned so much and I had to keep writing, but then she was so much that I could only write a handful of it. So maybe after this session, I'll have to go back to the YouTube channel and see everything that she has told. So it was a fantastic session of learning. There's so much to learn, definitely. I have written like about 1-2 pages from even the TMOD today, which maybe once I take the TMOD role, potentially I'm going to use all these tips and tactics through everyone's speech.
Wow, that is very good because we believe in learning every single time. Learning is a very good space. But I'll tell you what I learned. When I came first to the Toastmasters, I wanted to speak and give speeches. That is what I wanted to do. But the moment I took the timer role and the R counter role, what I realized was it was not about speaking, it was active listening that I was doing. And I realized that we do not listen carefully. And these roles always help me polish my listening skills. After every role, let it be the timer, you are so focused on the time, you were always on the speaker, and all the role takers, you were just keeping the time. You're very mindful in the meeting. When it came to the grammarian or the R counter, you wanted to listen to every word that has been spoken and at the same time write it down so that you can present it in your report. These roles taught me a lot. Anyone else who would like to share what did they learn by coming in this meeting? Yes, general evaluator, Toastmaster Sachin, one learning. Other than what we usually say, leadership, speaking, all these.
So what I learned was the way Toastmaster Shilpa she handled the TMOD session. It was really well done. And the thing is, her entire session was she was so much focused on the theme, and she actually I'll say dissected the theme. Then she has tried to convey her message to different situations. She has viewed the situation under different situations. She has tried to convey her theme, what the theme was saying. So that was beautifully done, and really I loved it.
Yes. Whenever there is a TMOD session, we look forward how the session is conducted, how many elements have been put in, and how engaged was the audience. And every time it is a learning session, as it was today. Thank you, Toastmaster Sachin, for pointing that out. And now the most important part and the interesting part, that is the results of today's meeting. So first, we have the auxiliary role taker. And for the auxiliary role taker, we have none other than Toastmaster Ritu. So big round of applause for Toastmaster Ritu. And the best role player, who else can it be than our TMOD today, Shilpa Reddy. Toastmaster Shilpa, you are the best role player, and best evaluator is our Toastmaster Yogita. So with that, for the 3 players, those who have got the best role taker, auxiliary role taker, role player, and best evaluation. Congratulations to Toastmaster Ritu, Toastmaster Shilpa, and Toastmaster Yogita. With that, we come to the end of another meeting of Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club. Signing off today. Good night. We will meet again on Saturday in a hybrid meeting format at 10 o'clock in the morning. Bye-bye. Take care.
You all. Bye-bye. Good night.